Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and as this YouTube adpocalypse continues to completely demoralize many creators on this platform, one thing has kind of been on the back of everybody's mind, and that is, are sponsorship deals going to become more prevalent while creators are scraping to get whatever cash they can to keep themselves afloat until the ship rights itself? And a lot of people out there are getting really sketchy deals brought to them right now. And so good deals aren't maybe coming as fast as other people would like, or as frequent as other people might like. But another issue that might be coming up is a lot of channels that are larger, right? Like over a couple 100,000 subscribers, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, might be seeing a decrease in this because they're not as effective as you might think in terms of being influencers. Now, over on TubeFilter, there's an article titled "Micro-Influencers Drive More Effective Ad Campaigns Than Top Creators." Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how in the fuck is that humanly possible? People who get the large followings, they tend to be the ones who are able to bring in the crowd. You would think that would be it. But apparently this report says otherwise. A new report from social media marketing company Hello Society, which was required by the failing New York Times last year, posts that brands who launch campaigns with micro-influencers, or those with 30,000 followers or fewer, are more effective than campaigns created alongside top-tier influencers with hundreds of thousands or millions of fans. And that is fucking crazy, because you wouldn't think that would be the case. You would not think that people would, who have got smaller audiences would be able to have that level of influence, right? You wouldn't think that, but apparently this is the case. This is because while micro-influencers' audiences are smaller, they tend to be more engaged. With 60% higher campaign engagement rates than top creators. As a result, these campaigns are 6 to 7 times more cost-effective for brands. Well, that makes sense. According to Hello Society, which also found that micro-influencers drive 22 times as many conversations each week than the average consumer. Now, this is an interesting thing to unpack, because they're saying that that while the audiences are smaller, they tend to be more engaged. And part of that reason, and this is one that, look, I will fully admit that I'm guilty of, and many people out there are guilty of as well, is the larger we get, the less we engage as much as we did when we were first starting off. And that's not an attack on anyone or a complaint against anyone, but it gets to a point of where you just don't quite, it's so many people trying to talk to you that it just becomes too much. Whereas when you are a smaller channel, interacting with the audience there is a lot easier because there's fewer people. The bigger you get, the more demand there is for your time in certain respects. And again, that's not like a negative. That's not calling anybody out. It's just kind of a way it is, which is one of the reasons why something like a Patreon-only live stream might be good for those followers that very much want that one-on-one interaction in the best possible way. No, that's not a pitch for my own Patreon, although I do have that feature on there as well, and so do many other fucking people. But it makes a lot of sense. And the fact that it says here that these campaigns are 6.7 times more cost effective means that the smaller, fewer subscribed channels or fewer followed Instagram accounts or whatever tend to charge less money when it comes to getting those deals. And that's true. The bigger you are in terms of your subscriber count, the more you can charge. And a lot of places are willing to pay it. But now we're learning that it's a lot more cost effective for these brands to go to smaller channels, which means if you're a smaller channel, start charging more money. Don't take the first deal that comes along. Charge them more. Shit, because apparently, according to this, you're way more impactful than people like me. So, you know what? Fuck it. Make that money, kid. Make that fucking paper. It goes on to say, influencer marketing is still effective when they're looked at as peers. This comes from Hello Society founder and CEO Kyla Brennan. Engagement goes down once you reach a certain threshold of followers, which is almost counterintuitive. Again, I completely agree with that. And a lot of it just has to do with the amount of voices that are there. And it's one of the hardest parts about being a person with a large following online. Lots of people want to talk to you. You want to talk to them, but it becomes a lot, and it becomes almost unmanageable if you're unable to do it just right, which is one of the reasons why I said that the Patreon live stream or the patron only live streams tend to be probably the better way to go about it. Or just finding out if your favorite creator is going to be doing a live stream with fans only in general, and then getting that one-on-one time. I myself do a number of live streams where it's just me shooting the shit with people for a couple hours, and that's a fair amount of fun, and I really enjoy doing it. And I've noticed, and I'm just putting this out there, when I bring on guests, which I do like to do, bring on people from the chat or people who are frequent watchers and whatever, and just have conversations, they tend to not like that. So it's such a weird dynamic to live in at this moment in time. And then, so Brennan does add that micro-influencers whose content focuses on the niche subject matter, such as interior design, inspires a particularly close connection with followers, despite there not being a household name, which is true. People very much will keep coming back if you have a channel like that, and that it provides them with information and insight, and they also feel like they get to know you. One of the reasons why, like I love doing $3 Theater, because $3 Theater is only movie news, movie commentary, and that to me is a lot more fun, and there's a lot more engagement. Whereas this channel is larger, and I cover such a wide variety of topics that sometimes getting that engagement directly is more difficult, which is why I do the live streams. I don't know why I'm telling you guys all this stuff. I just figure I would share, because right now information is power, and we all need to learn and adapt and build from one another. So there's basically that. And the thing is, something like this is actually like really interesting for smaller creators to learn. And the reason why I say this is because over the course of the past couple weeks with the YouTube adpocalypse, I have seen small creator after small creator after small creator go on Twitter and say, what the fuck is the point? Why the fuck am I doing this? There's no fucking reason. I'm completely screwed in terms of money. Can't do, and it's like, it's demoralizing to them. And this actually showcases that they might have more influence with brands and getting good sponsorship deals than people like me that are larger. I mean, that's if you're into that sort of thing. Not everybody is. Not everybody has to be. But if you are open to that particular avenue for income, then there you go. That is something to consider if you are a smaller channel, to keep this in mind. And that will work well with advertisers. So those are just my thoughts on this. I do want to know what you guys think. Because this is something that does impact, I think, all creators out there and everything else. So hopefully we'll be able to get more intel on the YouTube adpocalypse. Things will start to return to normal. I've been hearing rumblings that some Coke ads are playing again. I know that I've had Fast and Furious, or the Fate of the Furious ads playing in front of my videos. And so it looks like things are maybe starting to kind of return to normal. But in the meantime, if you are a smaller channel, don't discount this particular report, because it actually impacts you far greater than it impacts me. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. If you guys want to support the channel, social media is the best way to do so. Share it around, talk about it, get in on the conversation. Support me through Patreon. Check out MundaneChats. Check out $3 Theater. Subscribe, like, comment, engage with Mundane Matt here on the YouTubes. Thanks, guys.